This $10 tub can grow pounds of mushrooms. And today I'm showing you how to set it up and transfer your grain spawn, even if you've never done it before. If you guys followed along with my video about making spawn bags, this will be the next step in your process for growing those humidity-loving mushrooms like oysters or other species. Now, I'm assuming you already have your fully colonized bag of spawn ready to go. If not, go back and watch my video about how to make a spawn bag. So with our spawn ready, it's time to make our monotub for our spawn to bulk transfer. For this, we're gonna need some grain spawn, some coco coir, a plastic tub, a liner, I use a trash bag, a hole saw for cutting holes, and micro pour tape or polyfill to allow air transfer. That's it, and I'll link these supplies in the description down below if you need any of them. To start, we need to pasteurize all our coco coir. We're gonna take a coco coir brick and pour a gallon of boiling water on top of it. You can do this in a 5-gallon bucket wrapped in a towel to help hold that heat. Or in my case, I'm just gonna use my pressure cooker as it holds heat well anyway. After adding the boiling water, we're gonna let the coir soak for about 2 hours to fully pasteurize and make sure there's nothing funky in there. Some coir can have trichoderma added to it, and the last thing that we wanna do is introduce trich into our monotub. As a quick side note about contamination, in my experience, the #1 cause of contamination is simply uncolonized grain spawn. Make sure you don't transfer your spawn until it's 100% colonized. Once you expose those uncolonized grains to moist environments and fresh air, they're really prone to contamination. But if those grain are already colonized by the mycelium, they'll be much more resistant to any potential contaminants. So while we have our coir pasteurizing, we're gonna prepare our monotub. We're gonna start by drilling a few holes in the monotub. Ideally, these holes will go just above where your substrate will sit. I'm approximating where that is and drilling accordingly. I'm using a 1 3/4 inch sized hole saw, but it's not a super exact science. Just use something that'll allow some air exchange, but also help trap moisture. Usually I drill 4 to 6 holes depending on the size of the container and the amount of spawn I'm using. With our freshly drilled holes, all we now have to do is add some polyfill or micro pour tape to cover those. Next, we're gonna make our liner. This is gonna sit in the bottom of the tub and hold our spawn and substrate. Using a dark liner will help keep light from hitting the bottom of our substrate and prevent weird mushroom growth. Light tells mushrooms which direction to grow, so if light is only hitting from above, they will grow upward, which is what we want. So we're gonna cut the liner a bit bigger than the bottom of the monotub and drop it in. I'll use Scotch tape to hold the liner's corners so they stand up naturally. After 2 hours, check that your coir has cooled down. You don't want to damage your mycelium. Once it's cool, give it a good mix and test for field capacity. We're gonna grab a handful and squeeze firmly. It should release a few drops of water, but not a steady stream. If water pours out, it's too wet. If nothing comes out, it's too dry. You can soak up excess moisture with paper towels, or you can add a bit of water if it's too dry. Once your field capacity feels right, we're ready to move into what's called the spawn to bulk phase. That just means mixing your colonized grain spawn with a larger volume of substrate, in this case, the coco coir. Take your spawn and break it all up. You can shake it apart in your jar, break it apart in the bag, or just drop it into the tub and do it there. Then we're gonna mix equal parts spawn and coir. Once again, I just kind of eyeball it. It doesn't have to be ultra precise. If you have a little bit extra coir or a little bit extra spawn, it's not going to be the end of the world. As a side note too, don't use all your coir here. We want to save about 20% for what's called a casing layer. Once the mixed up spawn and coir are even and level across the monotub, we're ready for that casing layer. A casing layer is just a non-nutritious layer that you add on top of your substrate to help with humidity retention, surface moisture, and pin formation. It's not necessary, but it can really help your mushrooms thrive. After adding the casing layer, put the lid on your monotub and set it somewhere clean and stable. Temperatures between 70 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit have worked really well for me, though a bit outside that range usually won't hurt. Then it's just a waiting game. Over the next 2 weeks, you'll see mycelium start to spread out across the coir. After that, it'll start forming hyphal knots, primordia, pins, and ultimately mushrooms. Let's go! Now, real quickly, I'd like to discuss a couple beginner mistakes I see. Some people recommend fanning and misting your monotub early on, but if you get your field capacity right, that's really not necessary. I'd only recommend fanning once the mushrooms actually start growing if you notice some fuzzy feet. What fuzzy feet are is like fluffy mycelium at the base of your mushroom, and it's usually indicative of carbon dioxide buildup and they're craving a little bit of oxygen. So introducing like a 30-second daily fanning can help move that air around your monotub and keep your mushrooms nice and healthy. As far as misting goes, I really only do it if the sides or the lid of the monotub look really dry, and that usually is an indicator that your field capacity wasn't wet enough. After your first flush or your first harvest, that is the #1 time you should be misting the sides or lid of your monotub. This will help replenish some of that moisture you lost from harvesting your first flush of mushrooms and get that tub ready to grow plenty more. And that's how you set up your monotub to grow pounds of mushrooms. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. And once again, if you haven't already, check out my video on how to make spawn bags. It's where you're gonna learn how to prepare that grain spawn before we do our spawn to bulk transfer. That's gonna be it. Thanks for watching and happy growing.